What's going on, y'all? Welcome to this month's State of the Bay. We got a lot of stuff to unpack here. The bays are finally clearing up, the fish are firing off, and we're going to give y'all the areas to catch these fish as well as the tactics that y'all need to be able to go out there and fill up the boats. We're also going to talk about all the events that we got going on around the bay this month. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and talk about a few sponsors here of this episode. Our first sponsor is Sunn Builders. If you're looking at having your roof repaired or replaced, be sure to check out Sunn Builders and ask for Philip Tait. Sunn Builders is based out of Saraland, Alabama, and has been in the business for over 10 years. They're also a NAPI Awards finalist. If you need a metal or shingle roof, they offer bronze fortified roofing and finance the entire cost plus your deductible. So if you have an insurance claim and you're wondering how you're going to pay the deductible, they will throw that in on top and finance the whole roof. So if you're needing a new roof, be sure to check out Sunn Builders, and for special pricing, be sure to ask for Philip Tait and tell him Southern Salt sent you. Our next sponsor is Yactix. Yactix is a brand new company here on the Gulf Coast that specializes in kayak rentals, but these are not just any old kayak. These are decked out pedal drive kayaks. They come with fish finders. You can rent the rod and reels, tackles, everything you need. So if you're looking at getting into kayak fishing, you don't really know where to start, you can rent these kayaks. They're only $120, and these come with rod and reels, fish finders, everything you need to be able to go out there and catch fish. Come with a net, fish grips, everything. It's only $120 for, I believe, a 6-hour trip. So awesome deal there. If you're looking at getting into kayak fishing or just want to rent a kayak for the day, be sure to check out Yaktics. Our next sponsor is Total Backing Safety. If you are in the industrial or construction business and you are looking for safety auditing or compliance counseling, be sure to check out Total Backing Safety. They also specialize in giving classes, whether it be OSHA classes or scaffolding competent person classes. They do all of that. Anything that you need safety related with your business, be sure to check out Total Backing Safety and let them know we sent you. And our last sponsor is Cedar Swamp in Goshen, Mississippi. I have been using Cedar Swamp for all of my tackle needs for years. They have a lot of stuff that I can't get anywhere else, such as double D's, death grip jig heads, little slicks, B slicks, you name it, they got it. If you're looking for tough boots, apparel, all sorts of stuff, rod and reel combos, they got everything you need. So be sure to head over to Cedar Swamp in Goshen, Mississippi, and once again, let them know we sent you. All right, so getting into the events that we got going around the bay this month. The first event on my radar is going to be the Pensacola Redfish Series Tournament. This is going to be May 14th, and it's a redfish tournament, y'all. It's out of Pensacola, Florida. They're using the Archie Glover boat ramp to go out there and just catch redfish, right? So if you're looking at getting out there on your boat and competing in a good redfish series, be sure to go over there, check out that series. I'm going to link that down below, so if you want to go to that event page and check out the rules, all that stuff, it'll be available there. Also, on May 21st, we got the MBKFA 16th annual Bagwell tournament. So this is kayak fishing only, but this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I mean, it's super fun, a lot of ways to win. It is a slam tournament, so you're looking for a redfish, a flounder, and a speckled trout, but there are also individual categories for all of the three fish mentioned, and it's a good time. There's food involved, there's good camaraderie at the events. This is a tournament that I look forward to every year. Can't wait to get out there and compete. All right, now also after that night, there is the Drawdown event that is hosted by the Fever and Saltwater Fanatics. So the Drawdown at the grounds is pretty awesome event. I will be there. Here's the deal, right? So this is $100 to get in the door. Okay, now that's pre-orders. If you were to show up at the door and get your ticket, I believe it's $100, $125, something like that. But your $100 gets you all you can drink liquor. And I believe they said it's hosted by Tito's. I'm not sure on that, but all you can drink liquor. It's catered by Naaman's Catering. So you get food, you get all you can drink liquor, and then that also includes your spouse. So you and your spouse get to go out there, have a good time, eat a good meal, and have some good drinks, right? But also on top of that, the drawdown is for $5,000. So you get a ticket for the drawdown. So all that stuff that was included right there, you're also sitting there in the running for $5,000 just by having that ticket. So super fun event. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be tired from fishing that morning, but I'm still going to be out there having a good time, getting some drinks, eating some good food, and talking fishing and whatever else comes up. So looking forward to that event hosted by Saltwater Fanatics and the Fever. Those are the only events that I have on my radar for the month. There could be some other stuff that pops up. But now to talk about what y'all are all here for, and that's the fishing, right? So there's a lot going on right now in Mobile Bay. Let's talk about speckled trout first. So yesterday I went out down to Dolphin Island, launched my kayak, and I hit a lot of areas, just kind of checking to see where the trout are and if they've kind of really committed to making that push down on the lower end of the island. And let me tell you, the fish were firing off. Caught several nice trout, and they are really the areas that I targeted on were the shoals, Little Dolphin Bay, even went out to the west end of Dolphin Island and found trout in all those areas. So the trout are committed. They're down south. As far as the tactics that I would use, first on early in the morning, these trout are firing off. So throwing things that are aggressive like hard jerk baits, ripping a soft plastic real fast, real erratic, top water, anything like that is going to get struck first thing in the morning. As that sun comes up, kind of heats the water up a little bit, these fish start to get a little bit lazier. You might want to opt for something a little bit slower. That's where I would throw a fluke or a Ned rig or something that I'm kind of just creeping along the bottom or working it, just looking like a lazy bait, right? Nothing that's being jerked or ripped or anything like that. So that's what I would do for speckled trout right now. Now, with all of these spots that I'm going to talk about, I have in-depth videos that go on Google Earth that give y'all spots, locations, everything y'all need to know to really pinpoint these fish on Patreon. I'll go ahead and link that up here and down in the description. So if y'all want to really narrow down where these fish are, I'll have all that information over on Patreon. But flounder, one of my favorite fish to target. The flounder are here in full force. Last year was a good year with flounder, but I think this year is going to be even better. I mean, we're just catching them left and right. Not even when we're trying to. I'm out here trout fishing, working a lure fast, and still catching a lot of flounder. So it's really crazy. It's going to be a great year. But for the flounder, right now we're still seeing a lot of flounder around the passes and the mouths, but they are starting to creep up into the marsh systems. I have not found any flounder inside of creeks yet, and that's not saying that they're not working their way into the creeks, but I have found a lot of flounder that are staged up on the mouths outside of your big creeks like Heron Bay or even Bayou Heron over in Mississippi, the Pines over there, all those creeks that feed into the Pines. The mouths of all these areas are holding a lot of flounder right now. We're catching them. But even if you're going at it by foot, maybe you don't have a boat or a kayak, right now you can catch a lot of flounder over there around Heron Bay, the cutoff right there. Those rocks that run around there, you can go down around the bridge or walk, wade out around those rocks. So a lot of flounder there. And then also at the golf course down on Dolphin Island, if you want to wade out there around the golf course, a lot of flounder are showing up there as well. So the redfish, okay, redfish. Really finding redfish anywhere you go in the marsh systems right now. Marsh systems and oyster beds. I found a lot of redfish hanging out on your larger oyster beds, like around Bayou La Battery, those areas. But pretty much the same pattern is kind of what's been going on. In that high tide, I'm finding those fish deep up in that marsh grass, patrolling around in there. So high tide, I'm going to target my redfish on oysters, shallow oysters, and then close to that marsh grass up and deep up into the creeks. During the low tide, I'm going to get away from that because there's not a whole lot of water up there shallow, right? And I'm going to go out to my creek channels, my banks of my rivers and creeks that are cut out, where that water comes through, banks off, and kind of creates that cut against that bend. if you're finding those bends that have oysters that are also in that bend, that is like a gold mine for low tide redfish. So if you're going around, you're fishing, you find any deep cuts and you're feeling rocky bottom or anything like that, that's a good place to fish. You're gonna hook up there. But yeah, that's pretty much this month's State of the Bay. I hope all of this stuff was helpful. Y'all go out there, smash some fish. We'll see y'all at these events that we outlined, and I will catch y'all next time.